Good afternoon. Thank you again to AUCTV for this opportunity to speak with the AUC community about how we have responded and what we are doing still to prepare for the coronavirus emergency that is sweeping the world in a pandemic and certainly is touching the country we're in here, Egypt. We've taken a number of steps that we've described heretofore. Let me just reaffirm once again the core objectives. Number one, take care of our people. The health, safety, and security of our people is our number one priority. Number two, enabled by the first, is to carry on with our core mission of the production and transmission of knowledge, that is to say, higher education. We are determined to save spring term, save that investment of our students, all these months they've put in already, so that people will graduate on schedule, whether it's this June or next year. I'm very confident we can do that. I will leave it to the provost to speak in greater detail about the assessment of our preparation so far. In a short word, though, 15 or 17 years of preparing and of focusing on the processes of learning and teaching have really paid off. We began online instruction at different levels some years ago. We've been amping up our capabilities, and over these past several weeks of preparation, we've been training our faculty who are not already familiar with it and taking a look at our technology and making sure it's in place. I'm very confident that come Sunday, when we resume classes, we'll be off to a great start. No doubt we'll learn some things, there'll be some issues, but we'll be ready to go. The provost and the faculty are making individual adjustments to courses and to students' needs, and they've been answering lots of questions. They'll continue to do so. Now let's talk again about what we're doing to take care of our people on campus. We've made a lot of preparation so far. People are aware that with the reduction of the presence of students on campus during the spring break week, we've been able to reduce the amount of people who need to work here. We're putting into place some policies to enable us to reduce further the amount of people that need to be here over the full span of a normal business week. We're relying on each supervisor and manager to speak with her or his employees to make several important decisions. Number one, we do want to reduce the number of people who need to be here. So how do we do that? We have to make a determination, what are the essential tasks to enable us to keep the online and blended learning going? People have to be available to communicate. As AUCTV, people are essential to do that. People have to be here to keep the place clean and sanitary. We don't, in normal circumstances, appreciate enough what our cleaning people do. They're among the heroes of the hour. Please thank them when you see them. They are the ones who come into contact with surfaces needing cleaning, and they're doing a fine job. Thank your bus drivers. People have to get to work. Bus drivers come into contact with a lot of people. They're preparing their buses. We're looking across the board at work that must be done to support the online teaching that's happening. Some number of people will have to be present. There is other work that needs to get done and can be done remotely. So we've put into place a draft telecommuting or remote working policy, which again, each supervisor and employee will be working out to ensure that this works, that the work actually gets done, and that the employee can provide the skills, the input, the tasks remotely from an approved remote location. Typically that will be an employee's home. All those processes are underway. We'll be refining them, making decisions over the next couple of days of this early spring break. And by Sunday morning, I think we will find that more of our work can be done remotely than is being done today. And that will be done through wise decisions of individual employees with their supervisors based on clear policy guidance that is going out and the kinds of technical support that we have studied in the interim and determined we need to make available. There may be some training that's required as well. Let's talk now about the people, though, not the essential tasks. There are people who have special needs. There are people who are immunosuppressed. There are elderly people, not so many on a college campus, of course. There are young parents who have young kids at home and with the closure of Egyptian national schools need to be home. People who need to be home should not worry. Whether you feel sick, you should definitely stay home. If you need to be home, stay home. we will figure out leave arrangements in order you to do that, even if we cannot figure out or you do not need to do teleworking. We will have a greatly reduced need for presence of employees on campus. We already have a greatly reduced need. And with your supervisors, we will figure out how to move to shifts that spread out the need for staff hours on campus. All in all, I think we're in very good shape. Please tune in on Thursday afternoon when we'll have a town meeting and the ability to have live interaction when you can pose questions to me or to our senior people who are operating all of our various systems. Certainly the provost will be there to answer questions from students and faculty. Thank you very much for your resilience. I'm very proud of how our community has responded to this emergency. I thank the government of Egypt, which has had just great communications with us, and I appreciate the confidence that all are showing, along with very understandable concerns for what all this means to us and our families. Stay concerned. We're concerned too. Let's work on these together.